In addition to general computer science learning goals, objectives and skills such as technical understanding of computer science, problem-solving skills, project experience, commitment to lifelong learning, etc., there are skills specific to information assurance and security, like learning how to protect and defend information in information systems, attestation that current and past process and data are valid, knowledge of technologies and methods to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information and the computer system and network, exploring risk, threats, impact vulnerabilities applied to cybersecurity, and also specific problem-solving techniques like involving attacking and defending. The IIS knowledge is shown in two groups: concepts where the depth is unique to information assurance and security, and topics that are integrated into the knowledge area that reflect naturally implied or specified topics, or with a strong role in security concepts and topics. So you can see the examples of courses for each group on the screen. Even though every course has its own methods of teaching, the best technique of teaching security courses may be summarized and here in the following approaches. Presenting a lecture with the opportunity for students to ask questions whenever they feel like they need to clarify something. The lecture is followed by the lab exercises where students can apply learned tools and see if they have gap in their knowledge and if they need to go back and refresh it, or ask their peers for help. It's important that lab environment is collaborative. Every lab should be followed by the individual report about completed tasks. The report are not only beneficial for professors in assessment of students' works, but also help students to learn the material through individual research, explaining what they did and why it was needed to be done. Um, The next slide is my course exercises. I'm currently enrolled in Ethical Hacking and Penetration Testing course. I included these exercises as an example because we can see the principles of dynamic scaffolding. The first exercise didn't really require to know any specific tools, security tools. As long as you are good at stacking, you can find the key. Basically, we had to use a passive information gathering, which includes a lot of Googling and searching in social media. We were given little information about the person, and we had to find out the name of the basement of the house that his son uses as a performance venue. It was our first exercise. In exercise 4, we had to use Learn Tool and commands to identify IP address of the domains, active Ethernet interfaces, and start Wireshark. However, most of the steps were given. In exercise 11, instruction, as you can see, it's much shorter. Explicit commands are not given, but just hinted. Further in course, we are getting less and less instructions. It is important to know that teaching hacking creates two separate risks. The risk to society if a student misuses the skills they are taught, in addition to the risk to students in a program who may be drawn into illegal activity through the training received. For example, a study conducted in Appalachian State University found that 88% of students admitted to deliberately attempt to sniff the network of the university, and 70 confessed they tried to hack the faculty computers. So to find out how to avoid this risk in teaching, more than 200 professionals were asked for their advice that can be summarized here with these propositions. Proposition 1. The creation of student peer groups that support white hacking practices will reduce the likelihood of student engagement in unethical activities. Integrating cybersecurity competitions into academic programs provides numerous learning benefits. In my class, we're also encouraged to participate in Capture the Flag competition, which is also part of the grade. Proposition 3. Providing recognition for white hat hacking activities will reduce a likelihood that students will need to engage in black hat activities to gain that recognition. Proposition 4. Providing challenges that are properly matched with student skills level will serve to reduce the likelihood that students will turn to black hat activities. Also, they discuss the best practices of teaching to prepare future security professionals. Some of the best practices emphasize hands-on approach and the incorporation of soft skills. So as a result, in hands-on activities, it's highly recommended that educators shift from the traditional approach to an attacker's way of thinking that is taught in the hands-on part. Teaching students only the technical side of information security leads to a generation of students that emphasize digital solution, but ignore the physical and social aspects of security. That is why software aspect has to be considered. Some researchers favor soft skills that enhance awareness of potential security threat in the form of the social engineering. Based on student feedback that took this course before, I can summarize that most skills and concepts that they found the most valuable are networking principles, vulnerability scanning, password cracking, exploitation, network protocols, and probably web hacking. The biggest challenge for the most students was the pace of the class. Some topics could be covered in more details in class instead of in recorded lectures. Students hope to apply learned concept, principles, and tools in their future job that will most likely to be related to security field. Mhm. Information security and assurance knowledge area is important for future employers. These days, when almost every company has a security team that protects their data, budget, and customer interests, students should come out from the university with basic security principles to know how to create a web app with secure database, for example, or simply knowing how to not to become a victim of malicious attacks and jeopardize the whole organization that they are part of.